Hey guys, it's Paige from Mocarz, and in today's episode we're going to talk about the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano. So Ferrari isn't afraid to try something new, as proven by the 296 GTB and 296 GTS, which pair a mid-mounted turbocharged V6 with a electric motor. The resulting hybrid powertrain is not only wildly powerful, making a combined 820 horsepower, but it also sounds wonderfully melodic. But before we dive into the intricacies of the Ferrari 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our exclusive automotive updates. Let's put the pedal to the metal then. But without any further ado, let's skip the pleasantries, shall we? The 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano is the quickest rear-wheel drive production car ever tested. If you want to look at the raw numbers, 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano hits the 60 miles per hour from a stop in 2.3 seconds, beating the previous record holder by a single tenth of a second. And that car, the mighty LaFerrari in all its electronically enhanced V12 glory. Keep the throttle pinned and the 296 GTB cracks off a 9.6 second quarter mile time and a 149.6 miles per hour speed, putting it extremely rarefied air. The only two cars capable of a quicker pass are the Tesla Model S Plaid and the Lucid Air Sapphire, both of which make hundreds of additional horsepower and drive all four of their wheels. Neck and neck with the Ferrari 296, at the finish line is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale Assetto Fiorano, the quickest hybrid and quickest combustion power car we've ever tested. With an extra 168 horsepower, 3 times as many electronic motors, and 2 more cylinders, the SF90 is quicker off the line and reaches the 60 miles per hour in 2.1 seconds. But those extras add another 301 pounds to the car's curb weight, allowing the lighter 296 GTB to reel it in by the quarter mile finish line. Yeah, the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB achieves all this using a plug-in hybrid twin-turbo V6, powering only the rear wheels. The nearly flat 120-degree wide-angle V6 alone makes 654 horsepower, and the electric motor sandwiched between it and the 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle contributes to another 164 horsepower for a peak combined output of 820 horsepower. Meanwhile, the gas engine makes 546 pound-feet of peak torque, with the electric motor making 232. Combustion engines and electric motors don't reach peak output at the same speed, so it's difficult to pinpoint their combined totals, but it's basically irrelevant in the case of the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB anyway. Ferrari deliberately limits and adjusts the electric motor output in each gear to create the desired power delivery, so what you're getting at any given moment is a careful balance of turbocharger boost and electric assist rather than everything the powertrain has to offer. Not that it feels the way from inside. Perform one launch control start and you struggle to believe this car leaves anything on the table. The power is immense and only builds up as the revs do. With an 8500 RPM red line, you shift when it's seconds like the engine couldn't possibly rev any quicker, and you're hit with another surge of power. Ferrari says the powertrain is tuned for linear delivery, but it feels to us as though the real goal was to make it feel like an older naturally aspirated V8, but with double the horsepower. Low-end torque is stronger than you expect and instantaneous thanks to that electric motor. The turbos come on quickly and there's a surge in acceleration as you pass the 4500 RPM mark, when it feels like the engine reaches full boost and comes on the cam simultaneously. It doesn't let up until you shift, when there is only the slightest pause as the engine drops back to the high 4000 RPM range, and you do it all over again until you run out of road. All the while, it really does sound like some new kind of V12. Ferrari's engineers took to calling it the Piccolo V12, like the little V12. To our ears, it sounds like a cross between a flat 6 and a V12. Imagine that. Raw acceleration isn't the only thing that the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB does well. When you're traveling near the 150 miles per hour, after only a quarter of a mile, big brakes are a must. The 296 stops from 60 miles per hour, our standard metric, in just 88 feet. That's 2 feet shorter than the heavier SF90 and among the shortest distances we've ever recorded. Only 3 cars stopped shorter, and only by a foot or 2. String the acceleration and braking together into an ideal theoretical 0 to 100 to 0 miles per hour test, and it's the second quickest car we've ever tested at 8.1 seconds. Only SF90 squeaks ahead at 0.2 seconds. The only instrumented test the 296 doesn't dominate comes on the skid pad. It averaged lateral acceleration of 1.15 G, which is fantastic. But 15 cars have done better. Don't think you found a crack in the Ferrari's armor though. If anything, it's a trap. Ask the car to turn, accelerate and brake in quick succession like we do in our figure 8 test, and the 296 sets yet another record. A tenth of a second and 300th of a G were enough to take the crown from the McLaren 765 LT Spider with a new lap record of 21.7 seconds at 1.04 G. Getting there requires carefully managing your tire pressures. Ferrari uses the same trick as McLaren, relatively narrow front tires, to give the 296 GTB excellent turning response and good steering feel. The downside is the fact those tires heat up quickly in hard maneuvering at the pressure spike, eroding maximum grip and introducing mild understeer. In other words, conditions have to be perfect to get the record lap. Record setter, though it may be the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB, is still a street car. Driving a car rather than a supercar reveals its weaknesses, such as they are. Most difficult to ignore is the hybrid system's state of tune. It's pretty good, but there are a few wrinkles still in need of ironing out, and you notice them driving to and from the track or your favorite road. The good news is, they only exist in default hybrid driving mode. Switching to performance or qualifying solves the problem immediately. The first wrinkle in the handoff from pure electric propulsion to blended combustion and electric driving. In a hybrid, the car will turn the combustion engine off whenever possible and wait as long as possible to fire it back up. Unless you floor it, the 296 will try to give you the acceleration you want with just the electric motor. When that's not enough, there's slight pause between when the electric motor maxes out and the combustion engine engages. From the cockpit, you feel it as an unexpected interruption, however brief, in acceleration. The computer locked the knows the acceleration you're requesting is more than the electric motor can supply and should activate the gas engine a split second sooner. The other wrinkle is the wildly unpredictable regenerative braking. It engages whenever the computer feels like doing so and seemingly at different intensities every time. Sometimes you lift off the accelerator and the car coasts, other times it decelerates like an EV in max regen. There's no way to change the regenerative braking behavior, so you just must be ready to either get on the brakes when you get no regen deceleration or get back on the accelerator when you get too much. So if you live anywhere outside of Los Angeles or select few similar locales around the world where people commute daily in Ferraris, most of the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB's weak points are easily and rightfully ignored. Driven as it's intended, hard and unrelenting, the 296 GTB is as amazing as a sports car as any Ferrari has ever built. The sound, the character, the experience, they've all been preserved and even enhanced for the modern age. Plus, it gets you around those noise and congestion charges more and more cities are imposing worldwide. In that light, it's a win all around. So this is it, guys, concise and precise. Thank you for joining us on this journey through refined sophistication of the 2023 Ferrari 296 GTB Assetto Fiorano. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more exclusive automotive content, and leave a comment below and tell us, do you like 296 and cars like SF90, or you're more of a fan of SUV like Purosangue, which we have already done a review on. Stay tuned.